My name's Sarah Forrest. I'm the Assistant Curate at Holy Trinity, Bishop Stortford. When I arrived in the post, we were really keen to start some work with small children, especially around our baptism requests and providing a framework for parents to start thinking about church for the under threes. A fresh expression called Trinity Tots and the Teaspoon Cafe. Trinity Tots itself is a very short church service for under threes. It takes about 20 to 30 minutes and it involves some songs, some story, activities, usually something crafty, a short prayer, and then moves into some time for fellowship with parents and carers. We called it the Teaspoon Cafe because we really wanted people to understand that we were there for not just for the small children but for their families as well. We are a very poor parish. We're the second most deprived parish in Hertfordshire, so despite being in a busy affluent town, there's an area that we cover where people really are struggling. So we wanted to provide support for families as well as some Christian love and teaching for children. We are settled into the routine. We started in January and I feel like we've settled into the programme of teaching. It's a lot of work to provide a weekly activity for small children. But we're using a good resource in Diddy Disciples, and we're adapting that for under threes so that we're following with the lectionary in a slightly looser way to provide something that has some depth and some width as well in terms of what we're doing in terms of storytelling. Activities are going really well. Loads of sticking and gluing goes on in this place. But really importantly, the Teaspoon Cafe side of things is starting to get some depth. We talked last week about values, about bringing up children to be countercultural and not to be swayed by all the things of the world, to be wanting to have the newest gear and the most expensive stuff, and that money wasn't everything. And we had a really good discussion with the mums. What's felt like it hasn't gone well is how many people we have coming. We have usually 3, 4, 5 small children, one of whom's my nearly 2-year-old. So the numbers are really small. But when I look back at them, we've got a wider group than that, just people who can't necessarily come all the time. Having said that, I think maybe we're just building those foundations and we're starting really to develop relationships with those people who are going to go on, hopefully, to start taking a more of a leadership role as their discipleship continues. In the summer, we did a summer drop-in. And so instead of closing Trinity Tots for the summer, we decided to expand it. And we had an invitation sent out to the local primary schools, and we advertised for a drop-in from 10:30 in the morning until 1 in the afternoon, including a lunch. We became aware that our biggest local primary school has 80 children on free school meals, and we were concerned that this should be something that we helped to alleviate, really, that thought that there were children in our parish who would be struggling to be fed over the summertime. So we have already got a cafe on a Wednesday for the whole community, but we also opened our church hall for meals on a Friday as well through the summer. And we had, on some days we only had about 9 children, but there was one week when we had 25 children plus their accompanying adults. So we've had some wonderful encounters with people who've never come to church before.